Welcome back to week 3 of Small Seed, Big Impact. Look at us, 3 weeks in a row. Oh, if you're wondering and not having a seizure right now, I had to turn the sign off because the last 2 ones have really just, I told Shane, I'm like, I actually cannot watch the YouTube because it distracts me with the I'm about to have a seizure in the background with its blinking. So once I figure out the shutter speed on my camera to match up with the speed of electricity that pumps through the light, if anybody knows how to do that, let me know because that's what I have to do. And if not, then this sign is going to be retired or just a small seed sign. It might just be small seed with just like that.
Still see it.
No, you can see it in the video, but
it's cool enough.
Yeah, but I wanted it to be bright, but the shutter speed, too many things for me. I'm lucky I even know how to use this camera, so this camera
it's
that
not
I got.
We're gonna go to school for film or anything.
I know, but then and cameras have changed so much now. Literally, all the technology has changed so much. I feel like it's one thing when you're doing it all the time. The reason I want to do that was did it for 2 years in high school. It took 2 years of it. I took junior and senior year of it, and then been doing it in college too with the startups and everything. But everything switched to the phone. I know how to do all my stuff on my phone. I knew how to do all the videos.
I was like, I wonder if we just record it with our phone.
I know. That's what I'm saying. I know how to do everything on my phone because I don't use this camera. I use this nice camera for this right now, which is what we originally got it for, and then I'll use it to photograph our bars, and that's it.
Use this one?
Oh no, I use the other one. But I mean a nice camera, a better camera, not just a phone. But I could use my phone to do all of that. I could use my phone to record this and also to take pictures of the bars because phones now are equally as nice as the good camera. This is. You know what I mean?
It is.
So.
For our grade.
For what?
Our grade. Or level.
For sure. This is not a giant camera behind the scenes.
For everyone who watched YouTube last week, we have a timer this week to switch batteries if we go past our battery life. I don't know why they only make recording cameras last 30 minutes.
You guys,
that is
look.
So dumb. I chose that cup on purpose.
You did?
Yeah.
Small seed. Oh no, yours isn't.
Mine's unbeatable.
Small seed, big impact. The podcast.
Do you know why mine is this and yours
Cheers.
is that?
Because why?
Because you're the host and I'm the co-host.
Why are you always trying to act like that? We're equal hosts.
No, we're not.
Sorry. Go ahead. Yes, we have a timer on, so if we go past 30 minutes, which we might, we're not sure yet. We're not sure if we're going to keep these short and always keep them at 30 or under, or
I feel like we'll just, as they go, they'll go.
I know.
I'm not going to rush everything or not finish my thinking.
For sure, but we were saying maybe we could split them into two piece episodes if we wanted to keep them 30 and below. But
we'll see.
We have a timer,
we'll see what they
so
say.
We'll split it and we'll splice the videos together if we go past that.
Analytics will tell us all. Do people like the long ones or they like the short ones?
Yeah. Well,
YouTube is a long format content streamer platform.
hours.
Look at the most popular podcasts are hours. We are not those people.
No.
Just letting you know.
I guess Joe Rogan isn't his 3-hour long podcast or something. So yeah, I guess you're right. People do listen to long podcasts on YouTube.
They got cool people. Not that I'm not cool.
We were genuinely impressed with the number of people who watched us on YouTube. So thank you because we have 3 subscribers on our YouTube when we just posted that.
14.
Oh, we have 11 now.
And we got 2 comments.
We had 3. Oh, we did.
Yeah.
Oh, look
yesterday
at that.
or today, this morning.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
You know who you are. I appreciate you.
Yeah.
The same person
really
who commented on the videos drove from, I want to say Maryland area, all the way to Charlotte, North Carolina, to meet me.
Oh wow!
When I went to,
is it one of the book from the book world?
Yeah,
someone from the book world.
You know her? I won't say her name.
I saw her name. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, if I saw her name, I haven't looked yet. That's really cool. Thank you so much, and thank you for everybody who watched. That's also really amazing. And I know that it wasn't my mom or dad because my dad couldn't figure out how to get on YouTube. So you know how I said I was I'm pretty sure it's just gonna be our parents who watch. We're gonna get 3 views. That's what I had told you at the beginning. So thanks, guys. We're going on week 3 now.
You're week 3. It's not week 3 for us.
What is it? It's a couple days later.
I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Same week 2. We're going to try to batch them out.
We want a compilation. That way,
if we do that.
If anything emerges or Holly decides to take holidays like she does, we got some content.
One holiday. Okay? It's one holiday. I'll be played out in the summer. I'm staying laser focused this year. Shane does not believe me when I say I'm laser focused. This is kind of what our podcast is going to talk about, but
we'll see.
focused.
We'll see.
This year I'm focused.
I know.
I have like a
You're
whole.
focused right
I
now.
have a whole new energy to me. Like I have a whole like.
We'll
I don't
see.
know. I have like
we'll see how many of the bad energies you let infiltrate your life and take away your good energy.
No, but like I'm just I'm just
Distractors are here to distract.
Distractors are here to distract.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, that's true. I don't have any. I'm too focused to have anybody distract me. Even that bad energy.
I see her all day.
What do I do?
You know what you do.
What?
We'll see over time what happens.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
But I am laser focused this year. I have only one goal, 2 goals, but really only one small seed goal. And I have to be super focused to reach that goal. Like it's not going to happen without being like lasered in on it.
It's going to take everything you got.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because our kids take the vast majority. We had no room to give anything to anyone else.
No, for sure. My kids are 90%, small seed is 10%. I gotta give my full 10%.
You're going to have to take it all.
Oh, yeah. What are we talking about today?
You said it.
I know. Seasons of life.
Seasons of life. Relationships.
Relationships, seasons, going through seasons, different seasons of life, and how different relationships affect those seasons.
It's nice.
Yeah. I was inspired by 2 conversations I had. Well, by a conversation I had and then like a post I saw, and I was like, you know what, this is like a really good topic that I like also try to focus on. Because I'm very much a person who goes through seasons of life. Like chapters, seasons, whatever you want to call them. And I feel like I'm really good at like closing them and opening new ones. You know? Do you not think I am?
No, I do. I was like, sometimes do you slam the book shut? That's
Yeah.
in my head, when you were like, I close them, all I could think was like, slam the book, throw the book off the table.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
I'm done reading this.
I do not have a hard time. I'm never straddling between seasons. I'm like constantly like, that season's over and I step into my new season and I don't look back at like the old season. I feel like some people have a really hard time transitioning into new seasons. Like
most people,
once they're in it, they're okay, but I think that people have a really hard time letting go of the last season, you know? So they're like in this like seesaw area, like they're straddling 2 seasons and it's not serving them from their old season, and their new season's also not serving them because like you can't be in 2 places at once. You have to like commit to whatever you're going to be into. I feel like that's what I'm pretty good at. You too.
One of the better Bible quotes.
What?
Like you can't serve 2 masters because you'll love one and forsake the other. Too many people try to do that.
Exactly.
They try to, like, they say they want this one thing while keeping this other thing in their life that pulls from this thing or is completely contradictive. You know, like we talked about New Year's last episode.
Yeah.
We use people who like want to get fit Monday through Friday. They're on it. Hit all of their meals. They go to the gym every day. They're doing their cardio. Saturday, Sunday, they drink. They eat pizza. Or they just literally do nothing.
Yeah, and I think that's also part of the issue with like society now is there's very much like this culture or this
balance.
This societal like I don't even know like energy around it now is like, oh, like you don't have to be extreme, like you don't have to be extreme on anything, like you can have balance, you can have it all basically. And I'm like, if you're gonna have it all, you're never gonna want you're never gonna have what you actually want, because you can't have it all.
You can have it all. You just can't have it all at once.
Yeah.
That's what it really is.
Yes.
You can have everything you want. You just can't have it all at the same time.
Yes, exactly.
And that's why we have seasons.
Yes. Because you have to go through those seasons and you have to be like ready to like fully immerse yourself in every new season that you're in, and also realize that every season, whether it's a really like joyous season or a really hard season, is just a season and it's going to like it's gonna end, you know, like it's going like something like new is going to come along, like even when it's like a really like even when it's a really good season, not that you want to be thinking that like it's gonna end, but like everything does. Yeah, it's like cycles. Like you're always going through cycles. There's gonna be really high seasons and there's gonna be really low seasons, and like I feel like also that's what I'm good at is I'm like, okay, like I can kind of like conceptualize that, like this is like even when it's really hard, like something's really crappy or I'm going through something really crappy, I'm like, it's just the season I'm in right now. I say that to you too, like even when I was like struggling with stuff like with like motherhood and stuff, I'm like, it's just a season. I know it's just a season. Like I'm gonna get through it. It's like hard because I'm in it, but like I'm gonna get through it. And like I feel like having that like understanding that like I'm not stuck here, you know. Yeah. Like it feels like I'm stuck. It feels like it's going so slow, but like it's gonna get better, you know. Or things may change, you know. You know, just never know.
Yeah, what I like to say is everything is temporary. That's just like that's like my answer to everything. If you're going through something hard, it's temporary. If you're having like the highest month revenue of your life, it's temporary. And you have to think it's temporary, because if you think it's the norm, when it dips down, you're gonna plummet.
Yeah.
Like, you're now planning your life for this new high. And you're like, this high is great. And then you get comfortable and you start doing less. Mm-hmm. And then next thing you know, that starts to dip down. Didn't have to, maybe.
Yeah.
But it dips down and then you're just like, I don't understand. What happened? I'm like, you're not doing what you were doing. That's what happened.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Or,
it's kind of even
if you had to do 20% more to get this 20%, you have to do 20% more to get another 20%. And people just think you can people think you can get to 40 and hit 100. It's the weirdest thing.
With like 40% energy, but you're going to get to 100% success or whatever. Yeah, exactly. I know. I think even that with like celebrating like successes and stuff like that, it's like people get like so hyped up on like whatever it is, their biggest month, and they'll be like, yes, like all hyped up about it. And then...
Do you remember the only one thing I've ever celebrated success-wise?
No.
Do you remember?
What was it?
The first time I got a raise, I bought you
a teapot.
The cast iron teapot.
I do remember that.
The only time I've ever celebrated success.
Was that like really a celebration though? You bought me a teapot.
That's as celebratory as I get. I got a bonus. You remember? Like I got a bonus. Like the owner of the company moved cross country and like just left me there, which he was barely there anyway. But nonetheless, he was like, to him he was like, oh, he was probably thinking his company was gonna crash and burn without him around, you know. And after being gone, he was like. Just was like, oh, thank you so much, and then he gave me a bonus. I don't know if you remember, but he gave me a bonus, and what I do with that bonus? Do you remember? I bought you a washer and dryer.
Oh yeah, because he kept making fun of you about how every single time you were like, I think he asked you.
Yes, he did.
And you were like, the first time you got
like,
the
teapot.
Yeah, and he was like,
and he was like, took your bonus and bought her a washer and dryer.
I do remember that now that you said that. Yeah, no.
I don't celebrate.
No, you're not.
I don't care.
You're actually not good at celebrating.
I don't want to celebrate.
Yeah, no, I know, but like I feel like you need to have like a little bit.
You have to have a little bit. Don't put your things on me.
I feel like you need some. Like,
I am celebrating.
No, you don't. You're just like we're not like head head down like still head down like. Focus. I'm
celebrating on the inside. You know what my celebration is?
Yeah.
You get to keep going.
Yeah, I mean I'm like. Yes! I'm like, alright, gotta stay focused. Like, I'm definitely like I'll even like when like something really good happens, I'm like, oh, like, I'll like.
I mean, we bought our first house and I was like, this is cool.
Excited.
Next.
Yeah. That's what I mean. You don't like ruminate on anything.
I have discovered that I have abnormal ambition. Like, nothing makes me happy.
I'm actually literally never happy.
Nothing.
Just constantly could be better.
Always
I always joke with you like that.
More.
I'm like, you always are like.
You can always better your
best.
best.
Could be better. Yeah, I know.
Period. That's it. I have a tattoo that says the best of the best because until I am there, I will never be happy. That's it. Until I am number one, tip top, which will never happen.
Oh, that's funny. No, you are like that.
Because I die. You know, everyone dies. If I die, I can't be number one.
Exactly.
You know?
I'm never gonna.
Truly being number one is an unachievable goal. But I am just ridiculously ambitious, and most people are not, and that's okay.
I think people think they are, but they actually aren't willing to put everything in.
I think people like saying they are. Like, there's like this, like the trigger words on the internet that I hate. Like, I'm gonna call them trigger words because they're triggering to me.
They trigger me.
When people are like,
what is it? What's
like, just
the
those
trigger
words
you're
like,
talking about? Like what?
Like grind, grit, relentless, endure, like those things. Yeah. Ambitious is one of them. Hustle. I'm like, none of you are any of these things. You know why? Because you need a break.
Yeah.
I never need a break. I will do it until I fall over and die.
Yeah.
And I do it happily.
Yeah.
And they have to go 1 extra hour and they're miserable. They have to spend 1 extra weekend and they're like, this sucks. I miss my blank. And I'm like, I'll miss anything. Ask Holly.
I know. He really doesn't ever want to do anything. Even when we lived in California, because he was growing that company, and like he was basically like in charge of running it. Like the boss was around, but he was.
I was acting CEO, but I was the COO.
Yeah, for sure. He was like he would come in and out, but you were like doing the day-to-day stuff, like. And yeah, like we didn't do like people always ask like from when we lived in California, because I lived in California for like 5 years. Like, oh, did you do this? Did you do this? I'm like, I didn't do anything. Not because like, but obviously like we were in a relationship and then we were engaged and then I was like, I'm not gonna not. I don't know. It's like we were just like you were busy all the time. Like we didn't. The one thing we did is we went to Blackberry.
Blackberry.
Yeah, we went to Blackberry, and that's like the only thing we did. And that was
and
that was in the last year of us being there.
Yeah, that was after I like was really established.
Yeah. So we didn't like we were there and there was like, so many cool things. There were so many cool things around and like yeah, we didn't do anything because he was like so focus, like never wanted to leave, like never just wanted to stay.
I'm still like that.
I know, you are. Even still now. I mean, I take trips without you because, like...
And when I'm forced to take trips, I usually hate them.
Yeah, exactly. That's why now I've been like, I'm just going to take them without you because it's not fun. It's not fun for you because you're, like, stressed out, you know? And you also don't enjoy traveling. Like, for me, like, I actually enjoy traveling, but I feel like for you don't enjoy traveling. Like, that's not your...
I also genuinely don't enjoy being around people.
Yeah.
Like, this is not to, like... Any people outside of like you and our children, I don't want to be around anyone.
I know.
There's not anyone. I'm always like, I want to see you. Yeah. I don't. You can come see me,
That's okay.
And it better be for 1 hour because I got stuff to do.
I do think you're more a person who's like, if you want to see me, come see me. Come to my house, and I'm also still going to be working. I'm still going to be working, but. You can come see me, and I'll talk to you at night when I have time, and I'll talk to you, like, in the morning when I have time, but besides that, like, don't talk to me, because I'm working.
Exactly.
But, yeah.
You can work out with me, and that's about to be the only time we have together.
Work is your jam.
Right. And actually, like we were kind of discovering last time when I was talking about, being miserable. I think I mentioned that the last episode.
I don't know. What are you going to say?
Well, anyway, I think not leaning into that being who I am and compromising more of trying to like put this balance that most people have makes me miserable.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes, because it's taking away from who you really are or what you really want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
Some people like being around
want to
people,
put that on
and
you.
that's fine. Like I don't care.
Like I think it's also hard for people to understand that you're like that.
I think it's hard. I think it's the hardest for. I think it's hard for us.
Yeah.
Like, because you're a person who likes being around people.
For sure.
I'm a person who is extremely goal-oriented, and I'm like, does being around these people serve my goal?
Yeah.
Does it? 99.99999, absolutely not.
I know. Like, there was just that that thing that you sent me that was like, the quote was like, what did it say at the end? It was like, if this person doesn't have something that you want, then
don't be around them. Yeah, essentially don't surround yourself with people you don't want to be like.
Which is like so good. Like when you really put that into perspective, like if the people you're hanging out with don't have a single thing, like if you don't look at their life, trait, at least. Yeah, if you don't look at their life and there's not a single thing about them that you're like want, that you were like striving for or working towards or something, then like why are you with them? Right. Yeah.
Why?
It's like, so. It's they don't have to have everything. It's such perspective.
But something you want to embody that you can learn from them or take from them.
Yeah. No, it's such a good perspective.
And I'm like
on relationships, relationships. Right. It's such a good.
I think this is a big one though. I think people hang out with other people who do nothing, and then therefore they do nothing.
And then they're stressed out because they actually are. They actually do.
And then they all complain about being nothing. Which is the worst part. I'm like, why don't you all hang out with someone who's doing something?
And then you'll all be doing something.
And maybe you'll do something.
Yeah.
You know?
I think, people who are trying to do something hang out with people who say they want to do something. You know, the type of people who are like, I want to own my own business. People who say they want to do something hang out with other people who say they want to do something. I want to own my own business, I just don't know what I want to do. Those kind of people.
Oh, I hate those.
And then you're like a business owner and you're hanging out with someone like that. Like, you cannot be around those kind of people, you know?
For sure.
I just feel like they don't serve you. They don't offer you anything. Unless there is something that they offer you. But most of the time, they're just the type of people who are constantly going to be making up excuses, who are constantly going to be, like, in that mindset of, like, you know, not actually, like, applying.
I think if most people ask themselves that question, like, genuinely ask themselves that question? Like, are the people around you... do they embody something that you want? Do they have something in their life that you want? Doesn't have to be tangible. It could be like an outlook, a perspective, whatever. Like they are always upbeat, so then you're like, I'm always negative. I want to be upbeat. So you hang out with upbeat. Yeah. Like something like that. Or it could literally be that they're successful. Like they have a nice house, they have a nice family.
Yeah.
Like something.
Could be a relationship. Yeah, it could be like their relationship.
They're like, wow, they've been married 20 years.
Yeah,
Maybe I should go hang out with them.
Exactly.
Because they've been married 20 years and my loser friends who don't even have anyone because they're the bad ones. I'm not hanging out with them. They don't even have a relationship. What am I doing? I want a relationship.
I know. Yeah. Or I want a healthy relationship. You're in the relationship and then all your friends are single or something like that.
Yeah, you're doomed. If you only have single friends in your relationship, might as well break up.
I was thinking about this. I'm like, it's so funny because when you become an adult, it's already okay. So like friendships. It's already like harder as you get older to make friends and have friends and like make genuine friends and have genuine friendships, especially if you leave your friends who you grew up with. So if you move somewhere new as an adult, it's hard to find like friends, you know, like it is. But it's not so hard when you're single to find friends. It's extremely hard to find friends when you're in a serious relationship, whether that be in a serious relationship, you're married, engaged, whatever it is, that it becomes even harder. And then there's like a layer of you're in a relationship and you have kids, because you're not going to hang out with people who don't have kids. Like that's just, I personally, like I know some people are like that. I just personally can't. Like, you're going to hang out with me, I'm going to be with my kids. You also need to have kids, and ideally you need to have kids around my kids' age. Like within a couple years, you know, like I'm not going to hang out with you if you have a baby. Like I'm sorry, I'm just not. Like that's not ideal for my kids. It's just so I feel like your pool is like smaller and smaller and smaller, and it becomes harder to like find relationships, and then also relationships of value. Like who you have things in common with, who like actually like serve you, who aren't just like, who also have good relationships themselves too, because then you're like, okay, you have kids, you're married, but are you married and miserable, or are you like a mom and you're miserable?
Right.
Because I don't want to be around those people either. I feel like it just becomes like a smaller and smaller like pool of like friends, and I feel like people settle for people who they're not, you know, who don't have anything that they want, but they're like, they like want relationships.
They just don't want to be alone.
Yeah, well, they earn for the relation. Earn? Is that right? They yearn for the relationship. Because people, not you, normal people want, you know, normal people want relationships.
I was literally
they do.
just about to say.
No, they do. Like, not you, because you're...
I'm an anomaly.
Yeah.
I literally don't want any friends. Like, I don't want anyone around me that isn't like me, and no one is like me. There just isn't.
Yeah.
Like, I have friends from my old life that are happy in their life, and therefore I can still communicate with them because they're happy. Like, I don't, like, they're not complainers, they're not negative, they're not living like a miserable life. They both have relationships.
Yeah.
One has a child, and like when I talk to them, they're like, life's good, man.
Yeah.
Because we all came from bad places, and they're way better than where they came from. But like new friends, no, I don't want any. And I am happy, like legitimately happy to have any. And anytime I have to be social with someone I don't want to be friends with, I am dying on the inside.
I know.
I am miserable.
When I meet people, I'm like, yeah, no.
When you meet their husband, you're like, Shane's not going to tolerate this.
I mean, like like that's the thing. I'm like, all right, if we were like this type of people who like went to dinner or something, like, oh, we go to dinner for an hour, but I'm like, this is literally never a person Shane would have a relationship with. I'd
fake it for you, but
no, for sure. I mean, a relationship
just like
outside
I do
of
sex.
Damn, sorry.
Just kidding.
That's what's
I had to break up the seriousness because we're about to take a break anyway.
Oh yeah.
We had to re-switch it.
Oh.
But
How do you know?
Because I'm watching the clock.
Oh yeah. Oh, let's pause it then.
Pause on this, no?
Yeah.
Well, you could finish your comment about the relationship thing. Like, this is something Shane just wouldn't.
It's just, I like, will meet them, because you're so different, you're so unique, and you're so like hardcore, and I think most people aren't.
I think I need to get that in my next tattoo.
Hardcore.
I think it's gotta come on me somewhere.
I think most people, they just have a lot of things that they're interested in that I'm just like, Shane just doesn't want small talk. He also doesn't like small talk.
Oh,
he hates small talk. He does not want to talk to... Like,
everyone I ever talk to, they're gonna be like, Shane's so nice and listens to everything. I'm like, I am nice. I am very friendly. I'm antisocial.
Yeah, no,
you approach me, I'm so nice to you. But if I can avoid all socializing, I will do it.
Yes.
I will hop the fence in my backyard to avoid my friend neighbors.
Yeah, and I also think, I mean, it's not that you don't like conversating. Like, you like conversations. It's just you like deeper conversations. Yes, exactly. Sure. Like, you don't like surface level small talk.
Which is the majority of people.
Yeah.
When I don't like problems.
Yes.
Like, unless you're asking me, like, hey, how do I genuinely solve this problem? I don't know, I am stuck, and you want some raw truth and you're ready to get punched in the face, I'm that person. But if you're just like, the weather sucks, there was a lot of traffic,
everything sucks,
I really want to do this, but I just can't because I made all these bad decisions the last 10 years, I'm like, shut up.
Yeah.
And then I just don't answer you, and then you get blocked.
Exactly.
Like, not literally blocked, just ignore block. Because that's
mentally,
what I do.
I'm closing you off.
Right.
Like,
I'll see text message like, I see
done.
phone calls, you're not worth it. I know it's nothing good.
Just don't
if you're
be
not
negative.
adding, you're subtracting.
You always say that.
I was going to say, I think it's good. I enjoy talking about my personality. Like, I think it just gives people, like, a different idea. Because, like, I think most people in the world are not like me, and I also think most people on the internet, like, they think everyone is emotional, like, because they're emotional, and most people are, and they think everyone is emotional, and that is just not true. There are some people, and I'm not trying to be like, you know, whatever, like arrogant or egotistical. I'm like, there are some people that are just killers. Like, they do not care. And they're like, and I think that's like the biggest people. Why are you laughing?
No, nothing.
Oh, and I just think like, most people assume and they justify their behavior because they're like, everyone's like this. It's not just me, it's everyone. But I'm like, it's actually not everyone. There are some people that are just animals. They're monsters, and that's how they are. And I think usually those people are the best.
Yes.
Or they become the best over time.
Those are the people who...
when channeled correctly.
Those are the people who these people are actively trying to be.
Right.
But when you're emotional, it's really hard to be someone who doesn't have, like, emotional...
For sure. But then they also follow these people, and they're like... And they say everyone's emotional, you just gotta get over it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, other big people, they're like...
Sorry.
They essentially say, like, you're emotionally weak, get strong.
Yeah.
And I'm like... And then, therefore, they're like, oh, I had an emotionally weak moment, but it's okay, everyone is like that. And I'm like, that's actually not true. That's you justifying you being emotionally weak. And I'm like, you need to get that out of your head.
You also just need to accept the fact that you're emotionally like that, and then work towards, if you're trying to be like a killer, if you're trying to be, you know, like this person, then you need to learn how to, like, put those into boxes, you know?
Yeah, I think a common theme of our old podcast, and we used to talk about it, I used to talk about it, is like, know thyself. Know who you really are. Know what drives you. Know what your real goals are. Know your balance ratio. One of our favorite old podcasts was Don't Put Your Balance on Me. That was like my favorite podcast I think we ever did. That was a good one. But like, know your personal balance ratio. Know if you are emotionally weak or you are easily receptive. Like, that's when you have to be even harsher on who you allow in your life. Sure. Like, you just if you're a person where you want to have relationships, you need to do the seasons, and you need to be like, all right, this 90-day block, straight work.
Yeah. Straight
work, and then I'm going to see how far I can get, and if I get to a decent enough place, I will do, like, an XYZ block where I can go hang out with people.
Yeah.
Or go do whatever you need to do. I also think
people just need to, like you're saying, you really need to, like, look at yourself and look at what it is that you really want. Right. Like, do you really want the relationships, or do you really want whatever it is, the goal that you think that you're saying that you want? Because sometimes in the moment, you need to accept that in this season right now, you can't have those relationships. And some relationships are going to be there after that season is done, and some relationships are not, and it's okay to, in a way, like, mourn those relationships, because maybe at one point you were really close with those people, but it's also okay because you don't need those people when you get out of that season, you know, because it's likely you're going to be at a higher level. Like, it's likely you're going to be better. And if somebody isn't there for you after you better yourself because you haven't been able to hang out with them or answer their calls or whatever it is, you know, or you haven't gone out, like, whatever, then, like, that's not a person you need. And it's okay that they served you in a different season.
For sure.
That's okay. You can still love them, respect them in that season, but you don't have to carry them into this new season, you know? I think a lot of people have a hard time with that, too. It's like, they're really close with friends. Me and you talk about this all the time, but, like, we've had friends who we've just, like, completely, like, cut off. Like, I'm not saying that's the best way to do it either. Like, I'm, like, now as an adult, I'm like, okay, I probably could have gone around that in a much, like, nicer way.
I do this to my blood-born family. Because I'm a different place in life.
For sure.
You know? And that's how it is. And some people don't like that, but that's just true.
Yeah.
And the same thing with your friend group.
And that's the thing, because you might have friends who are like, oh, you think you're better, you think you're this, you think you're that.
Maybe not even that.
And they're gonna,
Maybe not even that. You might have friends that want to do the same thing you guys have always done, and you no longer can do that.
Yeah.
Which is, like, you might not have friends that say, like, you're so blank. They might just be like, hey, come out on Saturday. And, like, you're thinking, like, oh, they want to hang out with me. It's Saturday. We always hang out on Saturday. They're not saying, they're like, you're cool, you're nice, I want to see you.
Yeah.
And you're like, well, if I hang out on Saturday, I have to lose XYZ on Sunday.
Exactly. And that's the thing. But I feel like you need to accept it.
For sure.
Like, you need to accept whatever it is, and you need to be okay with it, too. Like, I think people become resentful at themselves, you know, or at the situation or whatever it is, and, like, then you're not actually working towards whatever it is, the goal that you want. Like, you need to, I'm going to keep going back to seasons, but you need to accept it's just a season. Like, you need to decide whatever it is that you're in, and change your perspective around it and make sure that whatever it is that you choose to like set your vision on, set your goals on, that is like your only focus, and that you only have like good thoughts around it. Because if you're like in this weird in between place, or you're feel like you're getting pulled in both places, like it's so funny because like even like your perspective, like somebody can go through the same exact thing, but if you have two different perspectives, like if both different people have different perspectives, they're going to it's going to sound like one person's going to be telling a story and you're going to be like, well, that's fucking crazy, and the other person's going to tell a story and you're like, that's fucking awesome. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly.
Like, so it's really, it's like your outlook, because if you're really focused on it and you're in that season and you're like accepting everything that comes along with that season, you're going to get there. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you will have a new, if your goal is friends, you'll have better friends.
For sure.
I'm like, not to say anything about your old friends were bad. They served you at that time, but they no longer have like a real purpose. And people just get emotionally attached to people.
For sure.
And that makes sense because we're all humans. But I'm like, what are you going to do? Are you gonna live at this low of a level because you love someone? Or are you going to come up here? And also, you being at this low level, loving them, is only just keeping them there.
Yeah.
Which is very selfish.
There's like, I can't remember what I was just listening to. I was listening to a podcast, and I wish I remember what podcast it was, but the person was talking about, they were talking about like being there for people, and like how sometimes you actually get in the way when you think you're trying to be helpful. And like I wish I could remember what it was. I might be telling the story wrong, but essentially the story was that this person was trying to help their friend. Their friend was going through like sobriety or something like that, and they were letting them like live with them. And they were like trying to help them. They were giving them like money and a place to live and all this stuff, and just kept trying to like help them get sober and stay sober. And the friend just kept falling back into like bad habits. So it went on for so long that the person whose house it was like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. Like, you gotta leave, and kick the person out. And the person had nowhere to go. So it was like a really hard decision because they were like the last person in their life. But when they kicked them out, within 6 weeks, that person actually like started turning their life around. Sure. And it was really because like they were the like, even though with all of your heart you wanted to get them better because you love this person, it was like, yeah, they were the one blocking their greatness. And so the friend now is like, whatever, like this successful person, does all stuff, is completely is like fully sober, been sober for years, and tells like, I wish I could remember, like basically it tells the guy that like if he had never kicked him out, he would have never gotten sober. He would have never gotten his life together. So that's just like one perspective of like, sometimes you can, like you can be thinking that like you being here, loving this person, and all of you guys doing the same thing is like where you're going to stay. But really, if you level up, then your friends may see you and be like, okay, if he can do it.
That's their only hope.
If he can do it, she can do it, I can do it.
You may be someone's only hope. And if you stay down here to try to appease them, you're killing their life too. And your own.
For sure.
But also, to have a less extreme version of what you just described, of the alcoholic who became homeless, when you don't tell somebody the truth, you're being selfish. You don't want to tell them the truth that they should hear or need to hear because you don't want to be bad. Mm-hmm. You don't want to look bad. You don't want to hurt that person. And you're just allowing them to be or do whatever they are doing because you don't want to hurt them. Like, that is very selfish. Like complaining. Complaining's the best, like, that's the easiest thing because everyone has people in their lives who do it. Mm-hmm. You know? Like, if someone calls you and they're like, oh, I'm just having a bad day, and you let them complain to you, you are actually letting them be a lesser version. Because what that person needs to do is fix their day. Mm-hmm. Talking about how bad their day was only makes it worse. Yeah. It will never make it better. And the people who allow that in life was almost everyone. You are selfish. By letting that person be that way. Yes. Without encouraging them to be better. For sure. You know? Even if it's simple as like, you don't have to be like, stop complaining. That doesn't help anyone. No. They're going to be like, whatever, and be like, well, what are you going to do about it? Yeah. Like, even if you can't give them advice, they're like, yes, that sucked. Now what? Yeah. Now what are you going to do? Exactly. And you're trying to get them to create solutions in their brain. I was going to say, you're also trying to get them to look at it in a different way. Like rewire it. So, yeah. Like, so it's not like, or like whatever, first thought is like, this sucks, and then whole day spirals downwards. It's like, this sucked, and now I need to like move forward. It doesn't mean the whole day is going to suck. Like, it's like those things where somebody wakes up. I know, but like, telling everyone your day sucked doesn't make you better. It makes you focus on your day sucking.
Yes.
Which makes your day suck more.
That's what I was going to say. I think sometimes when we're so focused on like something sucking or a day sucking or a day starting off sucking or whatever it is, then like we end up creating that energy around us. And the whole day does suck.
For
like
sure.
if you can't pull yourself out of that negative... if you can't pull yourself out of like that negative energy, then you're just like attracting shit all day. And of course, like you're stubbing your toe or whatever it is, you know? Like, and you're
But this is why you can't be around losers. This is why you can't be around loser level people, you know? Because they will call you with something shitty in their day, and then it will ruin your day. It'll put that funk in your brain.
Yeah.
And you're like, wow, I was going to create today. I was going to be excited. I was going to get things done. And now all I can think about is how you stubbed your toe.
All I can think about is your bullshit. Because you like, brought me down.
This is why you have to be very careful of, especially in those seasons, like the seasons of growth, of expansion, of change, of mind shift, whatever it is, until you are the stronger version of yourself, or until what you are building as a better foundation, you cannot let anyone infiltrate it. Because once you're stronger, you can that stuff will start bouncing off of you. Like once you go X amount of time being not negative, when someone's negative, you're like, get this out of my life.
Yeah, you're like, all right, fucking once again, like here we go. That's how I feel.
But also it affects you. When you're weak-minded, it affects you more.
Yeah.
You know? Like the more you tolerate, also it affects you. It just beats you down.
For sure, because it's like chiseling at your own energy. I mean, I feel like my energy is very like bright and high and
sure.
and good, and I feel like at the same time I'm also very affected by other people's energies that sometimes I can't even be I can feel, even you, because you have a really strong energy. We both have really strong energies. And, like,
my
if you're...
darkness will
diminish
your light
if you're
all day.
And when we, everybody knows, if you don't know, we, went through a really bad season in our relationship. And, I used to literally be like, you need to leave the house. Because it would be drowning me. I would be drowning. I would be trying to be good for Opal. I'd be trying to be in a good mood. And, I'm in a good mood, but I'm feeling the cloud is pressing on me, and I'd be like, you need to fully remove your energy. Your person needs to leave because it's suffocating me. You know what I mean? And I feel like there are people like that who especially if you're really in tune, and I know not everybody is, and this may seem like woo-woo or whatever, but if you can really hone in on your energy, you can feel immediately when somebody comes in, and then those are the people you don't want to be around, even if they're...
Or you can also feel good people.
Yes, for sure.
Someone can walk in the room and you can instantly have a good or bad feeling. Those people who have really strong energies. I am a person who can walk into the room and make everything go dim. Instantaneously. If I just choose to be I want this mood to be bad, everyone will be in a bad mood. It's just true. It's you can feel it.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
But I'm also the person you walk in a room and you're like, whoa, something just entered in here. And that's when I want to be on. You know?
Yeah. No, you have a really strong energy. And you're really good at... I don't feel like I'm so... That's what I was going to say. I feel like I have a strong energy and people can feel my energy. I'm not good at projecting my energy. If you can feel energies, you know I have a good energy.
Right.
Not everybody is in tune with that, so not everybody can feel that. But I feel like you're really good at even people who don't necessarily know.
I can make people feel energy. Yeah.
It's they don't know what it is. They don't know that it's you're projecting to them, but they can feel. They're something in them feels off. You know what I mean? They're ooh. If it's a bad. If it's a bad.
Even something simple as when I yell at our children, I shift the whole energy in the house.
Yeah, I don't even like it.
Because I want them to feel what
Opal cries
what
when
I
you're yelling
mean.
at Sage.
Yeah, I want them to feel what I mean, and not. I don't even care what they hear what I say.
Yeah.
They need to feel
exactly
that it's off.
Exactly.
I do it anytime there's an issue. It's the first thing I do.
I think that's most important.
And it scares a lot of people.
Yeah, no, I think that's most important. Also, I think that stays with us more than the words you're saying.
You will always remember how you feel.
Exactly.
Always.
Exactly.
That's why it's so important.
Exactly.
And this is also why it's important. If you are this negative Nance, the only thing people remember you is how you make them feel bad.
It's how you made them feel oh, that person's always
down.
But
if you're a good, if you're an upward energy, that's why people are oh, this person's so great. This person's so nice. Because they just made them feel good.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah. I think that if you also are trying to actively not be negative, you need to get those negative energies out of your life if that's where your natural state is, or where you feel you've become because you've been around a lot of negative people. I think you need to actively get all of those negative energies and those Debbie Downers out, and you need to try to surround yourself with people who are really bright and people who lift you up, even if you're not necessarily there yet. But I think those
if you have no one to be around like those people, being around no one is the answer.
Yeah.
Because you can find people like that online. You can listen to things, But like I will choose to be alone over choosing being anyone less 100% of the time.
Yeah.
100%.
It's not worth it.
And you don't need anyone. This goes back to the thing, like you don't need anyone. You can listen to motivational speakers, inspirational speakers. You can listen to books about how to change your life. These are people that bring in like good thoughts.
Yeah.
At least, at the very least, it's good thoughts.
Yeah. And energetically, you're going to be getting like excited. You're going to be getting motivated. You're going to be feeling good about whatever it is that you're reading, that you're hearing, that's like you're watching. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you are what you eat is also true with the things you consume, like media-wise or relationships.
Or mentally, emotionally, like
whatever you take in is typically what you put out. So like, if you do have a negative friend, you need like 10 positive things just to push that negative friend out. It's just like that's just how it is.
I know. I'm like, and some people are just so negative all the time. Like,
I know.
There's some people who I'm just like, man, like I have to tolerate them because it's like maybe, whatever the situation is, it's like somebody you have to tolerate. But then like you literally leave the situation like I'm exhausted. Like
like sometimes you get stuck, right?
Yeah.
Like let's say you go to like a kid's class and someone's just miserable and you're like, man, all right, this is going to be the worst 45 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. That's
I'm going to take it. I'm going to nod and I'm going to walk away and be like, let's change classes.
Sorry, a little technical difficulty.
That's all right. We're learning. This is episode 3. We're gonna get this down.
Yeah, by episode 10, hopefully we're
gonna have like 10,000 subs pretty soon. So
10,000 subs.
Subscribers. That's like YouTube shorthand for.
Oh, fancy.
I only stream YouTube.
Yeah.
So anyway,
subs is the word I need to know.
Subs.
All right, perfect. We're gonna have 10,000.
That's the same thing
subs.
as followers. And then I'm gonna be like, then we just buy a real camera.
Yeah.
I like one of those legit ones.
The ones that record for an hour.
Make movies.
An hour at a time. Alright, but I know we kind of just like talked about a bunch of things today, and I honestly don't even know if it's the point that I was trying to talk about, but
I think we did very good about relationships.
And seasons.
And like seasons is understanding everything's temporary things take priority. Sometimes it's business, sometimes it's family, sometimes it's relationships, sometimes it's yourself, sometimes it's fitness. Sometimes you got to be like, I need to drop or health. Yeah. I'm like sometimes you're like, I need to do this one thing to get to a new level. And then I can bring in some other things for next season, Like, things just need their own space.
Yes, they do. So, if you're going through a season, or there's relationships you need to cut out, or whatever it is, everything's temporary.
Yeah, and you don't have to be as hardcore as me, and have no one in your life, but you probably need a lot less people. It's true.
Alright, join us next week.